I am Nick Shell. Who are you?
I'm Jill Shell.
We are celebrating making this video because we have finally successfully recorded the song We're Gonna Leave in the Morning. And how many takes did it take?
At least 20.
Yeah, I was about to say, around 20. And so now we get to celebrate by making this video, talking about the meaning of the song. Now, granted, a couple hundred people will watch that song, only about 20 will watch this video.
Yeah.
But still, it's fun because we get to talk kind of behind the scenes what that song means to us, individually and together. So what's today's date? November 6th? Of 2019. I'm looking at my journal when I first wrote this. I wrote it on March 23rd, 2018. So over a year and a half ago was when I actually wrote this, and it was when I was staying home with our daughter, who was basically an infant at the time. I wasn't employed for 6 months, and then after I wrote the song, I got the job, and I've been there for a solid year. So I just kind of left the song, but I always intended for ultimately my wife and I to sing it together. And it's funny, we were just talking, we have known each other now for 13 years. Mm-hmm. And we both moved here for music. We both sing. I write, I play guitar. Until this past week, really?
Yeah. A couple months ago, we did a couple of cover songs that I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, other than that.
But never publicly.
No.
And it's funny because we live in the Nashville area, you would think, but...
We could have totally been doing this.
We could have, but I sort of feel that didn't have, for me personally, to write songs that meant something. I just feel like it took all of this life experience to now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it's I feel like we could have been doing cover songs.
Yeah, we could have at least done that.
Or worship or something.
Yeah. Well, now we can start doing those things, and it's oh yeah, this is fun. We can have fun. But it helps that we don't have infants anymore, though.
Right. That need constant attention.
But in case you haven't picked up on it, we're recording in the garage. And that's the best space that we can really do this. So what I wanted to do is go through the lyrics of this and explain to me what this song means to me, and you can kind of take it from there too, but I'll kind of go through the words on this. So we're going to leave in the morning, we're going to hit the ground running. I know just where we're going. We won't get lost this time, not this time. We won't get lost on this time. So for me, the reason I wrote that is because when our son was born, nearly 9 years ago, we moved to Alabama for about 9 months. We wanted to be close to family. Financially, we couldn't make it work. And we had to move back, go back to our old jobs. You can imagine what that would have been like. There's a lot of details from leaving out on how stressful that was. But ultimately, we wanted to do the right thing. We thought it was the right thing. And in hindsight, it didn't work out. And so I was thinking, okay, I want us, as we make decisions together as our future, and that's part of planning the future. You never know if you're making a decision. You have to take risks. But ultimately, I don't want the next decision to be a wrong turn or go in the wrong direction. So that's ultimately what that was implying there. So in congruence with that, the verse, we're gonna leave behind the life we called Plan A as we follow these dots and lines of the painted interstate. I don't care if we're just running off of fumes as long as I'm with you. So part of what I wanted to do in writing the song was to write a real love song, not a kind of pop radio song, but what is a real love song for people who've been married for 11 years now and have known each other for 13? What does that look like when you've been married for over a decade and you have kids and you work day jobs and all this stuff? What does that look like once all the smoke clears? You often don't see that in romantic comedies. It's just oh, here's when they fall in love. What happens next? What happens after they stay in love and they keep living their life? And so when we're in such a stable situation, but still it's what would it be like if we left the kids with my parents and we just went somewhere just us? And I think that's something we're more focused on now in our life. And we were actually planning that for next year.
But I think, I like that lyric, because I think as women we get so focused on having a plan. A lot of women are, not all women are like this, but just, I don't know, I am always someone who has a plan, and it's this song is saying, you know what, forget about that, we'll move on to the next plan. It's not over, we're still on this journey, and we're gonna just take a different route, and that's what life is about.
And the main thing is, like it says, as long as I'm with you. Ultimately, that's all that matters. What else would matter if we weren't doing this together? And ultimately, again, after the rom-com's over and you're still in love years later and you're living your life together, what does that look like? So that was the theme of this. So moving on to the next verse, and as you can see, the shirt is being worn. So put on that Speedwagon shirt you like to wear to bed. I want to talk about that for a minute. Yeah, it's funny. So first of all, when I was in high school, I graduated in 99, but I was just learning to drive. So like, let's say 1997, they opened up a Salvation Army. And my favorite year is 1983. That's just obviously the best year. We were both born in 81, but 83 is just culturally a really cool year. And so in high school, in 1997, I bought this for like $1 or whatever, but it doesn't quite fit. It's like a medium, but it's like shrunk, you know? So my wife really did, like somehow that ended up at our house, from my parents' house.
I had to borrow a shirt so one night at your parents' house, and this is what I got to sleep in. And then, yeah, I've had it ever since. I've painted in it, and it's got paint on it. But it's like, I know I can never throw it away because it's like a family heirloom now.
I mean, it's been through so much, and it's just funny because it's like, for me, there's always been irony in that. It's like this old scuzzy shirt from 1983 that I had.
But I like these guys.
Yeah, I mean, REO Speedwagon, and like there were all these white guys with afros, and actually turn around and show the back because it actually has the year 83. REO Speedwagon 83. So clearly, like this was a shirt from their tour in 1983. So that wasn't just a cool sounding line in the song. Like that is a real thing. And I was thinking, but yeah. So for this planned road trip where it's just us, like, what if we plan it, but then in the morning we just get up and we just go? Meaning, if that's what you're wearing, let's just go. And we've planned enough. Is ultimately. But I'm laughing because behind the scenes, when I was like, okay, well, you have to wear the shirt if we're going to record the song. But what's funny is you're putting it on.
It stinks. It has a really bad smell right now.
Like when it's left in the dryer too long.
Yeah, it smells like a stink bug is like in my shirt.
So it's funny, imagine that we're doing 20 takes of that song, 3 times 3 minutes each. And then the other song that we did, while still wearing these clothes, so like,
I had to put a couple of layers of cocoa butter lotion around my neck. It's actually slick from the lotion.
It's funny though, because in that shirt's life, like this is probably like the highlight of its life tonight.
There we go.
So have we covered the shirt enough?
Yeah.
So we'll wake up about the time the coffee gets to our heads. And that's just something we always do when we're together. We always get coffee on the weekend.
That's always been something we did when we started, before we even started dating.
Yeah.
That's how, when the night we met, we were talking about pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah, and that's 13 years ago that
and they still exist.
And it still exists. And it was funny because then, so then when I flew up to California where she's from and met her family, I remember we went on a little road trip, I guess in your dad's pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I remember you would pack some sandwiches and stuff. And the goal was to find a coffee shop that was just off the map, basically. And we did. It was just like this random little cafe thing.
Yeah.
But they had all these syrups, and I specifically remember I believe it was
Blueberry. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to see what it was like, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the concept. Like, coffee's important with the road trip with us. It's part of our shared identity together. So that's why I had to put a line about coffee in there. And then you'll be the prettiest picture that's ever been Instagrammed. You like that line, don't you?
I do. Out of all the Kim Kardashian and all the beautiful people in the world.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's a matter of, what you just described as this like commercial friendly, like glamour type of thing. But for me, it's undeniable how beautiful you are, even when you're wearing this old
smelly t-shirt.
shirt. Like, you can't deny that. If I were to Instagram that, like, it would shine through. Like, that is greater than any kind of model or whatever would have.
But do you want to talk about how you said, like, the first time you sang it, yeah. I don't know if it's in there, but he said it'd be the prettiest picture I've ever Instagrammed, which is a compliment, but not all that, not
It's
as grand as
grandiose.
the other
So
one.
as I was practicing it together, sometimes I kind of almost forget the lyrics, but then I sing something else, and then that was what I did instead. And then we
I said keep it.
Yeah, so, and that's been good. The songs are written, but like Jill can kind of help me narrow down some things. So that was good. But as long as I'm your man, and that's something else that specifically you wanted to have on there. I think it's good. I think it's good to look at the psychology of the relationship and how all this goes. So that's part of it too. So then we get to the bridge at the very end. And I will be your captain. You will be my lovely lady. I will take you where you want to go. And I just think that that's so symbolic of a husband in a relationship with a man and woman, that ultimately it's a matter of having a plan together. Like you both have your own plan A's or whatever, and then they blend together to become a plan B or maybe even beyond. But ultimately, in the end, my goal is to take my wife in this life where she wants to go and make it our own shared vision. And then it ends with that. And it was funny because a lot of times I have to practice these songs so many times just when I'm writing them, but then we have to practice them enough times to record them in our garage. And so I kind of ad-lib these things, and you were actually there when I did it, like just kind of accidentally. And then it was like, okay, well, you got to do that with me too. So just to kind of add a little bit of personality to it there. That's my tribute to Bruce Springsteen. Actually, speaking of the original lyrics on this, was so put on my Springsteen shirt.
Oh,
But
we don't have a Springsteen.
I have one. I have Welcome to Asbury Park. It's a t-shirt, and I wear it. You don't wear it.
Yeah.
So actually, up until a week ago when we started practicing, that's when I scratched that out and put speed
Oh,
on
really?
it.
Yeah.
Because that was the obvious choice once I realized, hey, we're actually doing this together. You're going to do this with me. So that's my background story of writing that song. Did you have anything that we haven't already covered as far as what this song makes you think of, or, why we decided to do this song, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think it is you successfully done a romantic song.
Good, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be so personal for us. And to the outsider, they'd have to watch a 13-minute video to know all this.
Right.
But again, this is a 1.5-year-old song out of the archives. And this is the first song that we're releasing together on YouTube that I've written and we're doing together of many.
Yeah.
So this is a really special, cool one. So thanks for watching. I'll put the link to the song in the description if you haven't actually seen the song. But why would you be watching this video if you haven't seen the song yet? Of course you have. Your comments belong right here.